Celebrating the rich culture of black comics at the 6th annual Black Comic Book Festival. We get closer with Gyptian, featuring Arita at BB King during Grammy weekend in New York City. A Stone of Hope, a memoir by a young black man who himself was a lost cause until he landed in a rehabilitation program that saved his life and gave him purpose. We shine the spotlight on its author, James St. Germain, on this week's Community Spotlight. Bob Marley would have been 73 this year. Fans gathered for the 22nd annual birthday tribute. You're watching Come Chat With Me, a Caribbean lifestyle magazine, and I'm your host, Ziggy Bless. Comic fans of all ages headed to the Schomburg Center for their 6th annual Black Comic Book Festival.
Hi, my name is Deirdre Holman, and I'm here at the Schomburg Center's 6th annual Black Comic Book Festival. I'm so proud to be one of the 4 founders of this festival here at the Schomburg, designed to celebrate independent black comic creators. I know many people are fans of comic books in the DC, Marvel world, Batman, Superman, Black Panther. But at this festival, we are celebrating independent creators. We're celebrating people like Kid Code and Maddie's Rocket and Ayanla. All of these really great artists, over 50 in the building from across the country, from Detroit, California, Atlanta, are here bringing their comic book stories to the people of New York City. We're talking about comics being literature, interesting, diverse stories for young people to read, but also for adult fans, comic books that were created by people who were loving what they were reading in the superhero comics, but wanted to create black stories.
I'm a New York City native, grew up in Far Rockaway. My family hails from the Caribbean, specifically Guyana. Today I'm at the Schomburg Center's 6th annual Black Comic Book Festival. I've written for Marvel Comics, Archie Comics, and Valiant, and today I am debuting my new series, Emancipated Black, which is about an African-American slave who's bitten by a vampire, and his skin turns the chalky white complexion of the vampire, and he has to pass himself off as a white man during the antebellum South of the days of slavery.
I've been reading comics since I was about 12 years old. I brought my 3 sons with me who also are into comics. And so I'm always excited about superheroes and being a part of something like this. And the fact that there are people of color makes it even better for me. I've always been a fan of Wonder Woman since I was a kid. And the fact that this is her sister and she looks like me, I'm actually going to frame it and put it in my office.
Hey, what's going on, people? This is Sean Aline, repping Barbados. I'm here at the 6th annual Schomburg Black Comic Book Festival, representing Pyroglyphic Studios and my people in Barbados. I was drawing since I was, a little boy. Always loved art. Grew up on comic books, but comic books was a gateway into other things, into literature, into mythology. So I was always a big reader, a big sci-fi fan. So then, as the years went on, I kept expressing myself through comic books. Then I had some major shifts in my life in art. I came to America in '93, and I met these guys at a Black Comic Book Festival that were doing a Black Comic Book Festival in Philadelphia, and that was the 5th year they was doing it. I didn't even know that it was around that long, and I called them instantly. I was like, look, one don't know me, but I want to be a part of this, whatever it takes. And meeting those guys and then being more involved in Black comic book culture, that's when my art started to take a change. So now it's important for me to reflect Nubian imagery within my art. So it's forever growing.
Hi, my name is Dedrian Sneed from Atlanta, Georgia, from Greene County Creatives, my studio, and I produce a comic book called Sorghum and Spirit. So it's about 4 young girls who find out in their age of innocence that they're in charge of saving their world from an army of monsters that are set to end their civilization. So we have a fantasy series, Afrocentric and has Latin Asian influences, but it showcases basically young girls in an Amazonian society. So there are no men, but it's a chance for us to concentrate on women, especially women of color, not just as a single brushstroke, but as a full palette of both the heroines and the villains, the highs and lows of fighting a war, and at the same time learning about your own choices and being the person you want to be. This is actually my first real convention. I get an opportunity to come here to the Schomburg. I came as a fan last year as an aspiring writer and author, and saw just the amazing artwork and camaraderie of like a lot of the people that I looked up to in the industry were right here and right as being available. So I went home and got with my friends, and we said, next year we're going to be on the other side of the table.
Heroes of Color, which is an animated series which is designed to help promote different cultures and outstanding achievements of people of color. Another series of work that I'm presenting here are just a multicultural artwork, again just showing the diversity of the society that we live in. And it's just a creative way to try to get young people and adults to learn and appreciate other people's cultures, because I feel like the more we learn about each other, the more we learn about our neighbors, the easier it becomes to live within the same society.
I'm Black Man, saving mankind, one stereotype at a time. I'm fighting stereotypes because more people are alike than they are different.
My name is Ori and we're at the Black Comic Con. My name's Sadia and we're at the Black Comic Con Schaumburg. My name is Ori and we're at the Black... My name is National and I'm at the Black Comic Con.
My name is Gillian Bell from the Urban Yoga Foundation, and we are at the Schaumburg Museum of Black Culture and Art, learning so many things, sharing heritage, culture, diversity, and much needed education for our wonderful young people.
My art is a nice mix of anime, manga influence, and Western cartooniness, and lots of bright colors and lots of pink because I just love soft, fluffy pink stuff. I've been making art for many years now. I'm about to turn 29 and I've been drawing since grade school and just absolutely in love with comics since I discovered anime. And so I've been traveling around to different conventions throughout the country for about the past 6 years. And before that, I graduated from the School of Visual Arts with a BFA in cartooning.
The first time I came to the Schaumburg for the Black Comic Book Festival was actually during year 1. I was walking by. I'm a frequenter of the Schaumburg for different events, art exhibitions as a visual artist as well as a poet, doing research in one thing. So I walked by one day and I just, oh my God, it's a Black Comic Book Festival. So I walked in and I've been hooked ever since.
Well, here we have a choose your own adventure style story that was created by me and a friend. It's done in the it's set to look like a dating sim almost, because me and my friend, we love playing these kinds of games. So you can like pretty much go through and choose like your own path in the story. So depending on what you pick, like, the ending will change and like you'll get different artwork and whatnot. And if you want the super abridged version of the plot, it is the murder mystery rom-com at a cookout that you never asked for. Usually a lot of things like start off with like a thought in my head, like, well, I kind of want to do something that has like maybe like this thing, and then I'll start like doodling before like I figure out like, okay, well, maybe I want something with like a mermaid or like, something like in space. Then I'll work from there.
We're here to keep connected the people who are creating comic books and telling our stories with the community who craves those stories.
During Grammy weekend at BB King in New York City, Temple Live presented Gyptian featuring Aretha.
business?
13 years now, innit?
What has been your favorite project so far?
I mean, music itself, you know? Music itself, a passion, and I always want to do it.
But do you have anything that you've done that really stands out? Because you've had songs that have run into the millions. What's your favorite Gyptian song?
Serious time, you know?
There you
these
go.
are some serious time because that's what really brought us on the forefront. You know, and then, quite a few serious time.
I'm glad to hear that was your favorite because this is mine too. Listen, tell us what you plan in the very near future.
Yeah, right now the EP coming out. Yeah, and also we're promoting this one tonight. It's Closer.
Closer.
Yeah, Closer. So pretty much that's what's up right now.
Do you want to give us a hint about what Closer really means?
It's more like a fundamental thing, you know, girls in the gym working out, girls in the party, like you're jamming in your car by yourself. It's just a vibrant song. It's a vibrant thing once it's on. You know? Y'all them broke out when them hear bad song.
Yeah, well, it sounds like another girl song, and you're very popular with the ladies. When I looked out in the audience tonight, I see 95% women there, so I know they're definitely here to see you.
She said, I don't want you to tell nobody, and then I give it to you so easy. I said, with me, baby, you don't need to worry. She said, never felt so right. And I said, yeah, oh baby, bring on me tonight.
Where do you see yourself in 2 years?
A lot of work with us hope because we're time serious right now. You have to hope see it tomorrow. You know, but right now 2 years, I mean, we're still gonna be doing music, touring, and more things will blossom then.
Well, speaking of tours, what tours do you have coming up?
All over. Like from the year start to the year finish to the next year, so the manager them can't give up on that run because we just go like a robot. You know?
So you just show up and do your thing?
Yeah, definitely. Once the manager said there, I'll be there. Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to let the Come Chat With Me audience know that we don't already know about you?
I don't swim. And I don't intend to.
And you're from the Caribbean?
Don't watch that. Just don't swim, you know? That's my thing. Yeah, man, but you don't know, you can't do still all the thing. You have to come to New York, no one there. You can't just use it like it's the only spot. Yeah, yeah, but you don't know one of the base them, so big up New York again. You're there tonight.
Thank you, Gyptian.
Yeah, yo. Oh.
One slow from tick-tock from baby drop it like that. And when move slow to cautiously, baby, right there from the sun. I want you to wind slow from tick-tock from baby drop it like that. And when move slow to cautiously, baby, right there from the sun. Cause when you dress up in your two-piece on your short shorts, baby, you really look good. I got to ask you, beautiful girls, I wanna use for the skin on the skin so smooth. So when you dress up in your two-piece, you short shorts, baby, you really look good. I got to ask you all what you used to make me come out looking so pretty and so smooth.
Plot Preparing Leaders of Tomorrow, a non-profit organization that provides mentoring to at-risk youth. We chat with co-founder and a Stone of Hope, author Jim St. Germain.
My name is Jim St. Germain. I was born in Haiti, and I moved here to the States when I was approximately 11 years old. Just, you know, for the same reasons that most people are here. I'm just seeking a better life. I'm seeking more opportunities. I moved into Crown Heights, Brooklyn at the time, and it was pre-gentrification. It was a pretty rough and economically depressed community. And as a young man, I had to maneuver around a lot of these challenges and obstacles. And unfortunately, I also was caught up in the streets. So I started to hustle at a very young age, which then led me into being in contact with law enforcement officials, and which then led me into the juvenile justice system, where I spent about 3 years. And that's where my journey changed based on the people that I met, the individuals I met who realized that I was more than my circumstances. Through that journey, I ended up leaving the streets alone and going and get my GED and started college and graduated college. I went to John Jay where I received my bachelor's in political science, and then I went on to grad school at NYU where I started. I'm not quite done yet, but I'm still on a journey to finish my master's now. Eventually I went back to the same facility I was incarcerated in as a young man and started to work in there with the youngsters. They were sort of like a product of their circumstances, and they had to deal with a 400 years history of oppression, right? Most of these kids were black and brown kids, so there was a history that preceded them, which then caused them to be in the situations that they were in that many of them weren't aware of, and they didn't have the wherewithal and the mental capacity to understand that history. So I set out to try to use my journey in my life as a guide to make some changes in my community. The book came out in 2017. I've been pushing that. I'm still going around and promoting the book. I have a few cities coming up. So that's important to me. I'm also speaking to production companies who are interested in buying the book to turn it into a movie or a documentary.
Can you talk about your profession?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm actually not a fan of profession, so I'm going to rephrase that question.
Okay.
I would change that to what's my purpose. I think your profession is what you sometimes go to school for, with the understanding that the school system itself was designed to produce people who can do the very particular job that the system wants them to do. I view my purpose as something that's bigger, right? So my purpose is to uplift my community and uplift particularly young people. I believe they're our greatest treasure, and I believe as a father, that is even more urgent for me to understand. So I would say that my purpose is to speak truth to power, to work with policymakers and business leaders and community members as a way of improving the circumstances that many of our young people find themselves in. PLOT, P-L-O-T, stands for Preparing Leaders of Tomorrow. PLOT was founded by myself and a brother of mine, Raymond Edwin, who is a police officer now. And you know, it came out of a place of love and a desire to leave a better community than the one we found. We've been fortunate enough with so many of my friends who are family to me who decided that they're going to help us move the ball forward. I think that most of the things I've accomplished in my life and that I have now, which are a lot of things considered where I came from me showing appreciation to people for the smallest thing they've done for me. I think people are willing to fight harder for you. They're willing to give you more opportunities if they know that you're appreciative. But not only that you're thankful, but you're willing to pass on your blessings, right? You're not just holding things to yourself. And I think the more you do that in life, the more things come to you. I think there was a notion that we have to be like crab in the barrel as a people. And I understand when resources are scarce, when we don't have much, because again, historically, we've been kept away from success systemically. Sometimes you end up fighting over crumbs. But the reality is that we don't win like that, right? That's why a lot of times we end up destroying each other for nothing. For me, if I use my candle to light up yours, mine still burns, right? As a matter of fact, it's even better now because we have two candles burning. And so that's my philosophy in life, and I think if you continue to do those things, blessings will continue to come, and that has worked for me.
Bob Marley. 22nd annual birthday tribute. And we're there, we're running to Hope. The lovely Keisha Martin. How you going, my friend?
They're enjoying the full joy and the vibes. The great, late great Robert Nesta Marley Burstrong. Every year we're there supporting. Big up CCB band and the whole family. Always a great vibe. The house is like cock and the vibes, the energy is up. So we're there, you see me?
And so when you say Bob Marley, see, what Keisha Martin think about? When you say Bob Marley, where you mix about? What come to your mind? And the music and everything there.
The revolution will not be televised, and that was said. Him set the thing, and guess what? Music, the rebellious music, rebel music, and that come to mind when we think about Bob Marley.
Sure.
And you know, it feeds the people and them soul.
Riven, what go on?
There, my brother. There, in that place, Bob Marley birthday.
Yeah, man.
And trust me, the vibes was nice. It's a fast show for going all about as a lover of Bob Marley music. Global format, you know what I mean? I'm sure Bob Marley touch people all over the world. I mean, being in my musical journey to travel around the world, I see Bob Marley's influence. Because Bob Marley celebration everywhere.
Yeah, man, we're there. I run to Ras Japan at the house tonight.
Don't know.
You know, man, what big man?
Yeah, give time, bless up, you know.
Very good. It is a special occasion tonight, you know.
Yes, sir.
See?
Yeah,
you know about it?
I mean, man, them not perform. Alright, sir. A Bob Marley day, you know?
Yeah.
I heard strong and everything, you know?
Very good, man.
So we are with our vibes, you know? CCB.
See?
Don't know, just greatness, you know, legend, greatness.
Stay connected with Come Chat With Me. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching Come Chat With Me. Tune in each and every Sunday right here on CIN. See you next week.
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Well, everywhere is war. This your war.
Simply Kill.